Question 1. Drag the green circle over the tab you go to find a new assignment. So which of these do we go to when we want to find an assignment? Do we go to Stream? Do we go to Classwork? Or do we go to People? What we're going to do is we're going to come over to our circles and we're going to click it once. See how that blue box showed up? That means that it is ready to have us drag it. So putting our mouse in the center of that circle, we're going to click and hold, and we can now drag it wherever we need to. So we could drag it around Stream if that was the correct answer. We could drag it around Classwork if that was the correct answer. Or we could drag it around People if that was the correct answer. You guys will have to tell me. Okay, slide 4 is where we have our first line activity. So go ahead and find slide 4 and click it. Now, this is question 3. This is our assignment hub. Oh, we just talked about that, you guys. For this one, you are going to drag the arrow to where I would find a resource for the whole class. So this is something that the whole class is going to use to get through the assignment. It might be information, it might be our planner, it could even be our video. So before we even touch our arrow, we're going to look at something really quick. I have 4 dots on this page, and they're numbered. We have dot 1, dot 2, dot 3, and dot 4. So which one of these is where we would find a resource for the whole class? Once you think you have the right answer, we're going to come up to our line and we're going to click it. Just click it. See how this blue box shows up? That's exactly what we want. Now we're going to come up to this blue dot and see how our mouse turned into a really thin plus sign or X. We need it to look like that when we're going to drag our line. We're going to put our mouse over that. Click and hold, and then we are going to drag it. See how my line's following me? We're going to drag it to one of these dots. So it could be dot 1. It could be dot 2, dot 3, or dot 4. Whichever one you guys think it is, go ahead and drag the arrow to one of those dots. And that is how you are going to do this Google slide. Once you are done, do not click Turn In. All you're going to do is exit that tab by hitting the little X on that specific tab. It'll take you back to Google Classroom. But because that's not the end of our assignments this week, we are not going to click Turn In. Turn In should only be hit on Fridays. So, Wednesday is behind us. Let's go back to our weekly planner. Now that we've completed Wednesdays, let's pretend that it's Thursday. For Thursday, we are going to do some typing stuff, and we're going to do a home row Google Slide activity. And here are the instructions for that. On our home row Google Slide, color in the home row keys with blue. Notice I set a specific color. Should I see purple? No. Should I see pink? No. What about green, yellow, black, or orange? Nope. It needs to be blue. That way I know you're following the instructions. Okay, so let's go to that before we move on to our next activity, okay? So Google Classroom. And this is something that, once again, each of you will have to do to turn in. So it is your work. So it's in the your work. And it is the second Google slide in there. So we're going to click that. Okay, here is our fun fillable keyboard. And if you guys notice, this is the exact keyboard that your Chromebooks have. So, home row, at this point in class, we will have learned that home row is where your hands should rest so that as you get more practice, you can type faster without looking at your keys. So, I want you to take your pointer fingers, both of them, and I want you to find the F and the J key. Once you've found them, I want you to run your finger on them, and I want you to tell me, well, I want you to think to yourself, what is weird and different about the F and J key? Think about it. If you said that they have little bumps on them, you're right. The F and J key have little bumps on them. What that is so that you know exactly where they are without having to look. So when we are typing, that is the foundation of our home row. Our pointer fingers should always rest on F and J. Then our next fingers will rest on the keys next to that, which is D and K. Then the next finger will be on S and L. And then our pinkies will be on A and our colon, which are the two dots that are stacked on top of each other. And that is our home row. That's our starter home row. So on this keyboard in front of you, I want you to go ahead and fill in our home row in the color blue. You're probably thinking, Miss K, you haven't told us how to do that yet. You're right, I haven't. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and start with F and J. So let's click on J and see how a blue box showed up? That means we can do stuff to that box now. And what we're going to do is come up to our toolbar up here. And I want you to find a paint bucket. It looks like this right here. Once you've found it, we're just going to click it once. And all of these options show up. Now, I have a specific one in mind. And you'll see why I have it in mind. At the bottom, you have this cool rainbow down here. These are the colors that you are going to use. So we want to find blue. We have yellow, green, blue, violet, purple, and pink. So we are going to go to this light blue. Yes. Oh my goodness, that scared me. Okay, we are going to click light blue. And look, now that square around J is light blue. Looky there. But the cool thing is I can still see the J. That's because those custom colors that I put down here are transparent. That means they're slightly see-through. If I was to use any other blue on here, watch what happens. I can no longer see the letter F because this is a solid color. So we're going to come back to our paint bucket and we're going to come down to our custom colors and we're going to click our light blue. And there the letter F is back. So you are going to finish by coloring in the rest of the home row buttons that we talked about. And we're going to use that light blue color, okay? Once you're finished, you're just going to close the tab, okay? Right in our little X on that tab, and it takes us back to Google Classroom. Now, let's see. I think there was another part to today's assignment. So we're going to go back to our weekly planner. Oh, and there is. It's a typing.com activity. So depending on what grade level you're on, you might have more or less assignments or keys that we're going to cover this week. For kindergarten, because this is your first time having typing with me, also this is the first time that we have got to look at our keyboarding stuff, you are only going to have one lesson, and that covers the J, F, and space keys. First, second graders, you've had me at least 1 year for typing. So we're going to cover 2 lessons, J, F, and space keys, but also U and R keys. Now the third, fourth graders, you guys have had me for a while for typing. So most of this you have already covered. So this is kind of our typing review. And you will be covering 3 lessons: J, F, and space keys, U and R keys, and our basic home row words. And you might be thinking to yourself, Miss K, how do I get to my typing lesson? Well, you're going to click here. And it's going to take you right to our typing.com lessons. Now, here is the most important thing for you to remember. You have to log in. Typing.com doesn't always log you in automatically. So what you need to do is come up to the top here. It says lessons, tests, games, achievements, themes, sign up. We already have an account, so we're going to go log in. Right over here. Log in. And we're going to click that. And it's going to bring us to our login page. Now, you guys don't have to type anything. All you're going to do is hit our rainbow G for Google, and it'll ask you what email account you want. Mine's a little different because